got a chance to see season 2 of Marvel's What If. Let's talk about it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to chat about What If Season 2, because I got my Disney Plus back for Skeleton Crew, so I figured I'd watch Season 2, because Season 3 is coming up, I think, in just a couple of days. So I like the animation style of this show. So we're going to talk about each individual episodes and what I liked and what I didn't like. But before we do that, remember to give me a like, thumbs up if you can, and also if you can subscribe, please do. But let's jump also into my comic book new release. And again, if you've seen this a million times, feel free to skip forward. But this is Lords of L.A. This is my vampire mob set in 1950s Hollywood. It is a revenge story, but it's also got blood, sex, and violence in it. We got some romance in there, too, if you're like that kind of stuff or you're a female. But yeah, the artwork inside is really good. And this is the first issue. Both scenes are 48 pages, so basically like 90 pages by the time we're done here. This is the issue 2. Main cover, the Katana cover is what I call it. This is the Helene cover. And then I got 2 new covers. So if you haven't seen the 2 new covers, this is the Samurai cover. And then this is the Marilyn Monroe cover. You can see Marilyn Monroe over here. And then if you look in the back, you can see the Nosferatu shadow, which is the movie coming out, which I heard is very, very like Dracula. And then this is the other Helene cover with the Werepanther. Really, really good stuff. But anyway, definitely check that out. If you'd like a copy, just give me a comment in the comments section. Let me know you want one, and then I'll communicate with you, or you can email me. The email is actually attached to my channel. Plus the 50th anniversary Green Hornet anthology by Timothy Zahn, who's the creator of Thrawn. For Star Wars, as well as Kevin J. Anderson, who writes for Dune, and also for Star Wars, Brandon Easton, who did Peggy Carter or Agent Carter for Marvel series, with cover art by Matt Wagner, who did Batman and did Grendel. There's a bunch of other writers as well. It's going to be amazing. Hardcover book. Go to greenhornetnoir.com and you can get notified when we're going to be launching in January. All right, so that's what we're going to do, is also a link in the description below as well. And yeah, if you're looking at my shirt, I finally got a new Flibby shirt. I don't know what happened to my other one. This is from my book series, Destiny Aurora, and it just got picked up by Blood Moon, so it is going to be in stores as well starting, I think, this summer. It's May, I think, May or June. All right, so let's jump into What If. So we started out with what if Nebula joined the Nova Corps? And it was more of a little like a space cop type of episode. And I'm a big fan of, I love how they bring back the actors from the movies to actually play the characters. So we have Karen Gillan playing this role. And I thought that I really liked this episode. She had to try to outplay some of the Nova Corps stuff, and I liked it quite a bit. Of course, there are some characters that don't come back, like ScarJo does not come back to play Black Widow, but we do have Lake Bell that plays the role. I quite like her. She's been playing the role anyway, because I don't think that ScarJo is going to come back unless the paycheck is enormous because of her lawsuit with Disney. And of course, Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr. is too high cost for him to come back. So the guy they have playing Tony Stark's voice sounds spot on. I mean, spot on. It was great to hear Kate Blanchett throughout, though. I was very happy with that. What I'm not happy about is that they did not do anything with Scarlet Witch. And they had Elizabeth Olsen come back for like 2 lines, man. What the hell? Give me some Scarlet Witch. And, we have Captain Carter throughout, and I like Captain Carter as a character. And Haley Atwell does play the voice continuously. But I hate that they keep trying to make her a thing. I mean, this was all about her. And what happens when you have that is that, and you had Steve Rogers in here, but not really. So we don't ever get to see Captain America in his garb, and because they keep race swapping him. And again, I like Captain Carter as a character, but come on. Would we have to have everything about her? Can't we have Captain America in a couple of these episodes? I don't understand why he's banished for her. So if that's my biggest complaint with this, then there's some stuff I didn't like in here as well. So what happened if Peter Quill attacked Earth's Mightiest Heroes? This one was okay. But again, we're back with Peggy Carter. But we did get to see Stark in this. And, he has all the powers of his father. And so it was a different Peter Quill. It was more one that, Kurt Russell had altered him. So it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I out of those two, of course, the first one was the better one. And What If Happy Hogan Saved Christmas was the 3rd episode. And this was it was a kickback to, Die Hard and like some 80s, 90s films. They have him going through the vents and, things that very lazy writing where he comes. And if you've been in an elevator, I want you to, the next time you're going into an elevator, look for an access hatch in the ceiling. You will not find one that isn't there. And if it is there, it is usually hidden by a piece of furnishing that they put up there. Like if there's wood paneling or whatever else, it's covered where you can't even take anything apart unless you have some kind of a tool. So at this point, everybody knows there's no hatch in the friggin' elevators that you can do that. And the vents are too small for people. So it's just lazy writing. Let's get off of that trope and not do that shit anymore. But then we have Hogan is accidentally, hits himself with, a Hulk serum and immediately turns into a Hulk. I really didn't like this episode. It was funny, but not very memorable. And I really don't like Happy Hogan as a Hulk. A lot of it turned me off. Plus, of course, he was trying to get a hold of everybody and couldn't get a hold of anybody. Everybody was busy. And then they showed up at the end going, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know. I really didn't like that one. Then we jump into episode 4. Iron Man crashed into the Grand Master. This one I actually generally enjoyed, where Iron Man, after the first Avengers movie, goes with the bomb or the missile, ends up in the Grand Master's planet and has to. And it had a whole driving race thing going on, almost like a pod race situation. He ends up turning his armor into his car like a transformer. Anyway, this one had some good stuff to it. We had Taika Waititi come back for Korg, which I liked. I liked some of that as well. And Tessa Thompson came back for Valkyrie. All this stuff. So there was this one. This one had some heart. I kind of liked it. And then we have episode 5. What if Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper? So here we have Peggy teaming up with Black Widow. So we got a lot of Lake Bell in here. And the two girls basically try to fight Steve Rogers, who is in the original Iron Man armor, but bigger. And there was I like this one too. You know, this should have been the only Captain Carter episode, as far as I'm concerned. This one really worked because, of course, she was trying to talk Steve Rogers down, who was under, you know, whatever kind of spell or trance he was under, and I thought that really worked for that dynamic. But the other ones I could have done without. But this one I thought really worked. But again, this should have been the one and done for Peggy Carter. Then we have What If Kahori Reshaped the World. I didn't like this one at all. I don't think Kahori is really a Marvel character. I didn't really do any research, but after all my years of reading comics, I've never heard of her. I've heard of other Indian characters, like Warpath from the X-Men, that I heard of. But this seemed more like them trying to do something with the Indians, with the Native American Indians, and trying to virtue signal is how I felt. They gave her way too many powers. You know, she was fighting. It didn't make any sense either, because she went into the water, of which she'd been there her entire life and never found this water. And anybody who goes in this water goes into this other dimension. I mean, so why aren't there, like, everybody? I mean, why doesn't their entire tribe go there? And if they're getting, you know, killed or whatever else by the Spaniards, or why don't they just go all in there? They're in, because they end up in some kind of a, I know she feels like it's a prison, but everybody else felt it was like, you know, heaven. So it didn't make any sense to me, and everybody tried to leave, and she was able to have enough power to actually move the portal from up in the sky to right in front of her. You want to talk about girl boss? This was it. So we have a total girl boss with way too many powers, and then when they left the dimension that they were in, they still maintained those powers, which made no sense at all. Why would they maintain those powers if the other dimension was giving them the powers and they left? It was just bad. It was bad across the board, and unfortunately, we had to see Kahori again. So, in this season. So, to me, this was the worst episode, followed by the Peter Quill one. Then we have What If Hela Found the Ten Rings? I'm a big Cate Blanchett fan. From what you can tell behind me, you can see the Hela figure right behind me. But I like this episode because I like Hela, and I like the fact that they did the same thing with Thor's hammer. He ends up taking the helmet from her and tossing it back into the planet, and then making it so if she's not worthy, she can't have it. But anyway, she ends up fighting the guy from the Ten Rings, who is my friend Fyodor Chin, is playing the guy's voice. He also plays one of the characters from Overwatch, the robot. Oh, why can't I think of his name? The robot that is floating and does this. But yeah, so Zenyatta. He plays the voice of Zenyatta. But he also played the voice in here for the Ten Rings guy. I'm glad he's getting a lot of work, man. Especially when nobody else is working right now. But yeah, so I like this one a lot. And I like that within 30 minutes, we got to see Hela be humbled. We got to see her change to the point where she had the white armor on. I really liked a lot of this. And we had, and it went to show, even the battle with Odin, how strong he was. There were two of them together, could not beat him. And it was, I thought there was a lot of this I liked. And then we jump into What If the Avengers Assembled in 1602. Oh, this one was forced. This one was really forced. And again, we have Peggy Carter trapped in this other world, and we have Steve that's, playing, almost the Robin Hood type of character. They needed a thief, and Strange goes and wants them to work on getting something or whatever. Strange doesn't work until the end, but they need a thief. I don't know. This one really didn't work for me either. We had Thor that was in here, and it was very Shakespearean, and Peggy was working for them for a while, but they immediately turned on her. I don't know. This one didn't work for me in the least. And then we jump into the last episode where we have Kahori return, because again we have Strange trying to get Laurie back, or what his girlfriend's name was, but he's trying to recreate his whole world again. And I also have to say that the guy playing the Watcher is always Jeffrey Wright. I think he plays the Watcher really well. I like his voice for the Watcher. I think that's really good. But anyway, so we have Cumberbatch going back to play the voice of Doctor Strange, and of course he's trying to get his whole world back. So he's willing to do anything for it, even though he's evil. And Captain Carter doesn't know it. Again, we have Captain Carter again. So she is the through line of this. So we don't get Captain America at all. But anyway, so she is working for Doctor Strange in exchange for going back to her home. And of course he's using her, and he sends her after Kahori. They end up bonding together really quickly and then fighting him. And that's the extent of that. So I did not like that one at all either. In fact, that was the only one I didn't watch all the way through. I had to come back a second time because I was already over it. But I really liked the first episode with Nebula. I liked Iron Man on the Collector, the Grand Master's planet. I liked the Hydra Trooper and the Hela with the 10 rings. So I liked half the season. So if you're going to watch it, if you don't want to watch it all the way through, you can just hit those. And yeah, I'll definitely be watching the next season. I know this season got a lot of blowback. So let's see if they learn anything from this one with the new episodes and the new season. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Happy holidays to everyone. Remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please do. Ring that bell below. Ding, ding. Hey, it's free. And if you haven't done it, why the hell not? Plus, remember, too, that you can go to greenhornetnoir.com and get notified about when the 50th anniversary collection is coming available in Kickstarter. Or you can just go to the description and the link below. And if you'd like a copy of Lords of L.A., let me know that as well. All right, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a great week.